Little Cutie Story Channel. Today we are reading the merry tale of the clever little tailor. Like and subscribe and turn on the notifications. Enjoy!
Merry Tale of the Clever Little Tailor. Once upon a time there was a princess, and a mighty proud one at that. If anyone came to court her, then she would give him a riddle to guess, and if he couldn't guess it, she would make fun of him and send him packing. What's more, she gave out that whoever did guess her riddle, then he was the one she would marry, and anyone could try that wanted to. Well, one day, 3 tailors met up with each other, and 2 older ones reckoned that they would strung together so many stitches in their time and done so well by it that they couldn't help do well here too. While, as for youngest, well, he was no but a little good-for-nothing fancy man, who hadn't got the first idea how to do his job. But he reckoned he was bound to have good luck, because if he didn't get good luck here, he wouldn't get it anywhere else. At the start, the 2 others said to him, "Why don't you just stay at home? You won't get on much with your bit of brain." But the little tailor wouldn't let himself be put off and said that since he would set his mind to the matter, he would shift for himself. And off he went with them as if he owned the whole world. So all 3 called on the princess and said she shouldn't ask them her riddle, for the right folk have turned up now, with wits so fine you could almost thread a needle with them. Then the princess said, "I've got 2 kinds of hair on my head. What colour are they?" "If that's all you want to know," said the first tailor, "that's easy. They're black and white, like the cloth of wheat, coal, pepper and salt." "Wrong," said the princess. "Now let's hear from number 2. Then the second tailor said, "No, they're not black and white. They're brown and red, like my old father's Sunday waistcoat." "Wrong again," said the princess. "Now let's hear from number 3. He looks as though he knows what he's about." Then the little tailor stepped up smartly and said, "The princess has got gold and silver hair on her head. Those are the 2 colours." And when the princess heard that, she turned white as a sheet and almost tumbled over with fright, for the little tailor had hit the mark. Well, she would been thinking that no one in the whole wide world would be able to do so. But once she would got her courage back, she said, "That's all very well, but I don't think you've won me just yet. There's still one thing you've got to do. Down below in the stables there's a bear, and you're to spend the night with him. If you're still alive when I get up in the morning, then we shall be wed." For she thought by this is to be well rid of the tailor, since the bear had never let anyone off alive. Once he got him in his clutches, but the little tailor didn't take fright at that and said comfortably enough, "Courage up is half the battle." Now, when evening had come, they brought the little tailor down to the bear, and his bear was all ready to be up to give the fellow a warm welcome with his claws. "Steady, steady," said the little tailor to himself. "I'll deal with you soon enough," and very calmly, as if he hadn't a care in the world, he pulled a handful of walnuts out of his pocket, cracked the shells with his teeth, and ate the nuts. When the bear saw this, he decided that he would like some nuts as well. So the little tailor reached to his pocket and brought out another handful. Only this time they weren't nuts but pebbles. The bear stuffed them in his mouth, but try as he would, he couldn't crack them. He thought, "What sort of cloth of head are you? Why can't you get your teeth into these nuts?" And he said to the little tailor, "Now then, can you crack me these nuts?" Said the little tailor. "That shows what kind of chap you are. Great big mouth like yours, and you can't crack a few little nuts." and he took the stones, did a quick switch, and popped a nut in his mouth. Crack! It was in half. "I must try this again," said the bear. "It looks easy enough to me." So the little tailor gives him some more pebbles, and the bear works away at them, biting with all his strength. But you know as well as I do that he had no luck. When this game was over, the little tailor brought up a fiddle from under his coat and played over a couple of pieces. When the bear heard the music, he couldn't keep still, but got up and started to dance. And after he danced for a bit, he found the whole thing so pleasing that he said to the little tailor, "Hey, how easy is it then to play the fiddle?" "Child's play," said the little tailor. "Look, I put my fingers on the strings like this, and I take the ball like this, and away we go, hopla hopla, over the hills and far away." "So," said the bear, "fiddling, that's something I would like to do, so that I could dance whenever I wanted. What do you reckon? Will you give me a lesson?" "Of all my heart," said the little tailor, "so long as you're apt. But let's have a look at those claws. They're a sight too long. I'll have to cut your nails for you." So he bought a longer vise, and the bear put his claws inside, and then the little tailor screwed them in tight and said, "Now wait till I get the scissors." And he left the bear to growl as much as it wanted, settled down on a bundle of straw in the corner, and went to sleep. That night, when the princess heard the bear growling and making such a fuss, she couldn't think but what he was growling for joy he would giving the little tailor his comeuppance. Next morning, then, she got up without a care in the world, but when she takes a look in the stables, what does she see but the little old tailor standing there as a bony fish in a brook? Well, since everybody knew about her having promised to marry him, there was nothing left for her to say against it, and the king had a carriage brought round to take the two of them to the church. Once they climbed aboard, the two other tailors, who were false-hearted fellows and had no great love for their comrade, went along to the stable and unloosed the bear. The bear, who by this time was pretty cross, ran after the carriage. The princess had him snuffing and growling, which properly frightened her, and she cried out, "Ow! The bear's behind us, and he's coming after you!" But the little tailor was a sharp one. He stood on his head, stuck his legs out of the window, and there's the picture of the dancing lessons from a clever tailor. Watch out for the vise. If you don't clear off, you'll be inside again. And when the bear saw that, he turned and ran off. So the little old tailor drove on quietly to the church, and the princess was wed with him, and they lived together happy as a pair of larks. And if you don't believe that, it will cost you a shilling.